Welcome to the Game Recap channel. Today we will review a short summary of the game Call of Duty Black Ops 6. At the beginning of the game, we see CIA Director Livingstone interrogating Marshall, Woods, Case and Harrow about the events of the mission. During the interrogation, Marshall recounts how the operation unfolded. The operation itself took place in Kuwait in 1991, involving Marshall, Harrow and Case. The mission begins with a gunship bombardment of an enemy convoy. After the successful aerial strike on the convoy, our soldiers move in to capture Alawi, fighting their way through enemy forces. After successfully capturing Alawi, we learn that he had a deal with the CIA, though we were unaware of it. At the same time, unidentified helicopters arrive. Alawi identifies them as Pantheon forces, which causes Case's vision to blur. Livingstone continues the interrogation, criticizing Marshall for disobeying orders. Marshall explains that the situation became complicated and continues his story. Our squad continued to fight through Pantheon forces. This is when Marshall violates his orders and deviates from the original plan. When our soldiers reach the extraction point, they are unexpectedly met by Adler, who kills Alawi. Following this, Marshall and Harrow detain Adler, who has been wanted for 10 months for betraying the CIA. Unexpectedly, Adler surrenders and offers no resistance during the arrest. Adler also gives Marshall a message for Woods. Continuing the interrogation, Livingstone asks what Adler's message means, but Woods claims he has no idea what the phrase "Bishop takes Rook" means. After the interrogation, Woods, Marshall and Case are suspended from further operations. Once the questioning is over, Marshall meets Harrow in her office, where they discuss the situation with Woods. At the end of the conversation, Harrow warns Marshall against taking any reckless actions. 3 days later, Marshall, Woods and Case arrive at an old KGB base in Bulgaria. Following Adler's hint, Bishop takes Rook. While exploring the house, we find a secret room where Adler has been working this entire time. After investigating it, only one question remains. Who can be trusted? Adler brought us here to stop Pantheon before they strike. Our team decides to resume the investigation into this matter to learn more. Case and Marshall set out to recruit new members for the team. Case travels to Avalon to earn the trust of Sevati Dumas and recruit her into our unit. But first, we must help her destroy a criminal organization known as the Guild. Our introduction to Sev begins with a request to kill Yannick, but only after confirming that the Guild is working with Pantheon. After reaching the top of a church and taking a sniper rifle, Case puts Yannick in his sights. We then overhear his conversation and confirm that the Guild has dealings with Pantheon. Upon Sev's command, we kill Yannick. After fighting off Guild soldiers, Sev picks us up and reveals the next part of the plan to destroy the organization. According to Sev's plan, we must infiltrate the Guild's main building and allow ourselves to be captured. When Case falls into the Guild's trap and surrenders his weapon, we see Sev eliminate a Guild guard and take his place. Alongside Sev, we are brought before the Guild leadership and overhear their conversation with Pantheon. When Pantheon orders Case's execution, Sev kills Aminata, one of the Guild leaders, and begins a pursuit of the other high-ranking members with Case. A shootout ensues between us and the Guild's forces, ending with Case killing Omar Segir, who was also part of the leadership. After making it outside, we open fire on the limousine belonging to the head of the Guild, Esayadi, who burns alive when the vehicle crashes and catches fire. With the Guild dismantled, Sev decides to join our group. In turn, Marshall traveled to Munich and returned with Felix Neumann, a technical genius capable of hacking the CIA, once again to help us locate where Adler is being held. With Felix's help, we discover that Adler is being detained at a secret facility in Washington. We also learn that this facility is located beneath the Capitol. While speaking with Sev, we find out she decided to eliminate the Guild because of their betrayal. Next, we meet Felix, who is working on a camera that will assist us during the next mission. The goal of our mission is to infiltrate the secret facility known as the Dark Side and rescue Adler. To do this, we need to gain access to the site. We are fortunate that a gala will take place at the Capitol on Saturday, attended by Senator McKenna, who possesses clearance for the dark side. To obtain a high-quality retinal scan of the senator, Felix worked on the camera. Case arrives at the event posing as a journalist. However, once inside, we encounter Harrow, who warns us against reckless actions before leaving the gala. Case then decides to get the scan using the senator's wife, though she initially dismisses us. To secure the image, Case overhears a conversation involving Senator McKenna's assistant, learning that she is having an affair with the senator. To gather evidence, Case steals car keys and finds a folder containing proof in the trunk. When Case speaks with the senator's wife a second time, he provides her with the evidence of her husband's infidelity. Together, they deal with the assistant, and in exchange, Case receives the scan of the senator's eye. Afterward, Case meets with Marshall and Sev. Having secured weapons, Case and Marshall descend into the secret facility and open the doors using Felix's camera. Upon entering, we hear an alarm and see many casualties, leading us to conclude this is the work of Pantheon. We proceed with the operation to rescue Adler, while simultaneously saving hostages held by Pantheon. Reaching the bunker where Adler is kept, we use a remote-controlled car created by Felix to trigger an EMP wave near the power panel. This disables the security protocols and allows us to enter. After dealing with the Pantheon soldiers attempting to kill Adler, we rescue him and head toward the bunker exit together. However, we are intercepted by soldiers Pantheon sent to eliminate us. We then ascend using elevator cables, but they snap. We manage to survive by grabbing onto railings below. We search for another way to exit the building. While fighting off Spetsnaz and Pantheon forces, we move through the hall toward the extraction point. Upon reaching it, we discover the building is completely surrounded, leaving us with no way out. Marshall then suggests using motorcycles from the exhibition, which we use to successfully escape the building. After that, we fight off pursuers and rejoin our team to leave the city. After leaving the city, Marshall contacts Harrow and warns her about Pantheon and their agents within the CIA. Furthermore, our squad is blamed for the day's events and declared internationally wanted. Upon reaching the base, Adler reports on Saddam Hussein's palace, which houses Pantheon's experimental weapon called Cradle. Upon hearing this information, Case experiences another vision. Once our squad determines the next target, Adler contacts Helen Park from the SAS. The British agree to help us infiltrate Hussein's palace and delay its destruction for a few hours if we help them destroy missile launchers and clear the skies. After destroying 3 missile launchers, our squad, along with SAS soldiers, begins the assault on Hussein's palace, which is defended by Pantheon forces. When we reach the secret bunker, we find samples of Cradle, a folder, and a disc. From the folder, we learn that Cradle is a chemical weapon developed with the help of Soviet scientist Matvey Gusev. Adler suspects this weapon originated from America. We do not have time to learn more due to an advance by Pantheon soldiers. After fighting off the newly arrived forces, our squad and the British unit leave Hussein's palace by helicopter and witness its destruction by SAS fighter jets. Our only lead on Pantheon is scientist Matvey Gusev, who, according to preliminary information, is in Iraq. While decrypting the recovered disk, Felix confirms Adler's suspicion that Cradle originated from an American laboratory. After the briefing, Marshall has a candid conversation with Woods, in which Woods reassures Marshall that Adler is innocent and was framed just like the rest of them. Following this, we head to the abandoned complex where Cradle was originally created. Upon arriving at the facility, Case falls down and her gas mask breaks. As a result, Case begins to succumb to the chemicals dispersed throughout the complex. Under their influence, Case sees zombies and hears voices in her head. When Case answers a ringing phone, she is welcomed back, creating the impression that we have been here before. To reunite with the team, Case must find 4 director access cards to activate the elevator. As she makes her way deeper into the complex and retrieves the cards, the voice in her head grows more frequent and the place feels increasingly familiar. After securing all the keys and fighting off the zombies, Case gains access to the elevator. While ascending, Case sees her own memories of Cradle, Pantheon, and this facility, though she is unable to tell anyone about them. Upon reaching the top, Case encounters Marshall and Sev appearing as zombies, who eventually bring her back to reality. Once she recovers, Case discovers 2 empty canisters of Cradle that were removed the previous summer. Back in Bulgaria, the team reviews the footage from the disc decrypted by Felix. The recording shows an experiment with Cradle and its horrific effects on people. It was the dispersed Cradle in the facility that caused Case to see zombies. This experiment was conducted by Gusev and Harrow. Upon seeing Harrow, Marshall becomes enraged, smashes the projector, and leaves the room. Later, we see Sev trying to comfort Marshall, but he refuses to listen and sends her away. While talking to Sev, we learn that the guild's betrayal involved false accusations against her lover, Pascal, whom she killed on their orders. Reviewing the recording, Felix finds a lead that brings us to safe deposit box B24 in the Lutetia casino. To gain access, our entire squad launches an operation to infiltrate the casino. Marshall enters the casino and meets Sev, who provides him with cheating cards for the poker table. For this plan to work, Case grants Woods access to the establishment's security cameras. To win the game, Marshall swaps his cards while Sev distracts the other patrons. After gaining access to the VIP lounge, Marshall and Felix stage a diversion by triggering jackpots on all the machines and steal an access card for the server room. Once inside the server room, Felix reprograms the card to the highest level of access. Meeting near the bar, Felix hands the access card to Sev. She, in turn, infiltrates the casino's armory. Having secured weapons, Sev meets Marshall and Felix, who begin a diversion involving the vault. After blowing open the vault doors, we fight off the guards who arrived due to the explosion. To eliminate them, Sev pushes a cart filled with explosives into them, causing another blast. Due to the explosion, the guards interrogating Case are forced to leave him to help the others. Taking advantage of the opportunity, Case eliminates the last guard and moves toward box B24, while our squad distracts the remaining security. Reaching the box, we find a folder. After regrouping with the team, we leave the casino. After reviewing the folder, we confirm the suspicion that the casino works with Pantheon to launder their money. And we also discover Gusev's location in Iraq. Marshall contacts Adler and passes on the information. From a conversation between Sev and Felix, we learn that Felix could not restrain himself in the casino and stooped to their level by killing the guards. While talking to Woods, we learn that he is raising the son of his friend, Mason. Arriving in Iraq and joining forces with Adler's old friend, Sims, we set out to detain Gusev. After arriving at the airport and fighting off numerous Pantheon soldiers, our squad reaches the plane. Upon entering the cockpit, we find no one and survive an attack on the aircraft. Contacting Marshall, we learn that Gusev is at the other end of the port. To reach him, Adler steals an enemy tank, which we use to advance toward Gusev. At the last moment, we fire a shell from the tank and hit Gusev's plane. After stopping the aircraft and capturing the scientist, we interrogate him and learn the location of the Cradle stockpiles. Afterward, Adler orders his execution, but Sims intervenes and detains the scientist. From Gusev's words, we learn that Cradle is located at a Pantheon base in Vorkuta. Sev travels to the site and disguises herself as one of the soldiers for a sabotage mission. To ensure the operation is successful, Sev loads a cargo of explosives and disables the missiles on the attack helicopters. Next, she plants a charge on a missile launcher and, after hacking the communications tower, grants Felix access to it. After this, Sev gains access to the cameras and sees Harrow on one of them, discovering that Cradle has been moved to another location. Learning this, Marshall decides to change the plan and kidnap Harrow to obtain information on where the Cradle was sent. Next, our squad invades the base's airspace, and we see the forces that were supposed to defend the base being destroyed due to Sev's sabotage. After leaving the helicopter, we realize we are surrounded by Pantheon soldiers and are forced to fight them off. We advance toward the bunker where Harrow is located. Inside the bunker, our communications are jammed, and Harrow attempts to win us over to her side. To find Harrow, Case, Marshall, and Sev split up. While moving through the complex, Harrow intercepts Case and once again offers for him to join her. During the conversation, Sev attacks from behind and detains Harrow. Having captured the target, we return to Bulgaria. Upon arriving at the base, Harrow says nothing. We also discover a tracking device implanted in her, meaning Pantheon is already on the way. Because of this, with the team's consent, we use a drug called separation. After it is administered, Harrow's mind is altered, and she tries to help us. Harrow enters a first memory, in which her mother, a CIA agent, tells her to hide under the bed. Then the memory cuts off, and the Pantheon version of Harrow's mind destroys a mirror containing memories. To remember the other parts of that night, Harrow sets out to collect the mirror shards. After obtaining the first shard, we see how young Harrow did not listen to her mother and left the room. At that moment, her mother is killed. In shock, Harrow moves toward her, but her father, also a CIA agent, grabs her and hides her in a closet. Then Harrow sees Pantheon soldiers taking canisters of Cradle. Upon getting the second mirror shard, we see her father fighting a stranger. At the end of the duel, Harrow's father is killed, and the mirror shatters. Pantheon soldiers are approaching, and we set out to intercept them while Woods stays with Harrow. We then learn that Harrow joined the CIA to find the truth about her parents and their murder. However, in a secret CIA vault, she discovered that the data regarding the operation and her parents had been removed. One day, Harrow receives a tape from Pantheon with data about the operation to kill her parents. From it, she learns that the CIA were the ones who killed her parents. This became the reason for her joining Pantheon. Next, a conversation takes place between Woods and Harrow regarding whether Adler truly killed her parents. Replaying the memories again, Harrow remembers that the killer was another man. Realizing this and overcoming the Pantheon version of herself, she obtains the final mirror shard. Meanwhile, Case, Adler, and the others continue to fight off Pantheon, who attacked from the rear and broke into the building. To stop the assault, our squad heads to the bridge to blow it up. Once the explosives are set, Felix comes under enemy fire. Case saves Felix, who in turn detonates the bridge to destroy the only path to them. After the explosion, we see Pantheon helicopters heading toward the house. Woods hurries Harrow along, and we learn that Cradle is located in the Capitol building in Washington. Once Harrow gives the order, Cradle will be activated and every block of the Capitol will be infected. In such an incident, CIA Director Livingstone would be blamed, while Harrow would take his place, giving Pantheon full control over the CIA. Woods reports the new information to Marshall and Livingstone, but immediately afterward, he is attacked by Pantheon soldiers. Having broken free, Harrow leaves Woods to die from a stab wound. Marshall, Adler, and Case head to the house, where they find the wounded Woods, with whom Adler stays. While pursuing Harrow, Marshall is wounded as a result of a rocket-propelled grenade hitting the house. Left alone, Case heads for Harrow's helicopter. Upon reaching it and fighting off the guards, Case attacks Harrow, who accidentally kills the pilot with her shot, and the helicopter crashes. Waking up after the crash, a fight ensues between Case and Harrow, in which Case kills Harrow. Once Harrow is dealt with, we learn that Livingstone and his agents have neutralized the threat. After the mission, Case does not return to the team, disappearing without explanation. After 2 weeks, our squad meets with Livingstone. During the conversation, we learn that Harrow was only a part of Pantheon, not its leader. Because of this, Livingstone asks our team to work in the shadows with full support from his side. His concern is caused by the fact that the person who recruited Harrow is still inside the CIA. After this, we see Case in Harrow's office, which suggests that she was the one who recruited him. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video on the Game Recap channel.